This is the day that the Lord has made in Hot Springs National Park. We will rejoice and be glad in it. So be the first to know and get in the flow of what the Lord is doing in Hot Springs today on This is the Day.
Hello and welcome to This is the Day TV. We are coming to you from Hot Springs, and we're getting really excited about what God is doing in His kingdom in Central Arkansas. About a year ago, we had a show about the foster care crisis in Arkansas, and it was about what local pastors are doing to try to relieve the crisis situation as much as they can. But today, we're so honored to have a pastor who has gone beyond what most do, and we want to welcome Pastor Perry Black of Family Church in Bryant. Welcome.
Good to be here.
We're so glad you're here because you know that the ranch is very dear to my heart.
Yeah.
But you started out small. You started out in a storefront. You want to tell us a little about that?
Well, I'm the pastor of Family Church in Bryant, and we're located on I-30 between Reynolds and Alcoa Road.
Right.
And we started out in a storefront, started out on our very first Sunday. We just announced in the little local Shoppers News. We had a little section there, said we were going to start a church, Arkansas's newest interdenominational church. Father's Day, June the 20th, 1990. And much to our surprise, 87 people showed up.
That's wonderful for your first time.
Well, we had 75 chairs, so we're pretty excited. And we brought in additional folding chairs that were going to be in the little youth room, little children's room.
Right.
Wasn't much bigger than our studio here. And so very first Sunday, 87 people showed up, and on our 1-year anniversary, we broke ground, and we have been building for 27 years.
I can see that. If you've ever seen his church campus on I-30 in Bryant, you will see how far he's come. But the thing that we want to talk to you about today is the ranch. He has founded a home for kids and youth, for foster care kids and youth, and it's awesome. So tell us, how did you get that vision?
When I got born again, October 26, 1972, my commitment to the Lord is that if He would send me, I'd spend the rest of my life telling young people and, of course, their families that Jesus Christ is alive. And I just thought, wouldn't it be great to have a place where teenagers could be taken, the joke is taken out of the hood,
right,
and taken to the woods.
That's right.
And over a period of many decades, we've been able to acquire 300 acres, surrounded by 400 acres of forestry, and it's called Second Chance Youth Ranch. 2, the number 2, CYR for Chance Youth Ranch, .org. And we've been doing that now. We've been with children. December will be our 12th anniversary to take care of children. We currently have on campus 25 young people, 24/7. 365, and then we also have independent homes and transitional homes in the town of Bryant, where we typically will have anywhere from 8 to 12 more students that are 16 and older.
Well, it's so important to, when we take in foster children, to try to give them the full experience of Jesus, and that's exactly what the ranch does. But we want to look at a video right now, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about how what all you do with the children at the ranch. Okay?
Video should answer, where did the ranch come from?
Right, we're going to see where it came from. So let's take a minute and look at where the ranch came from.
When I started the ministry that's responsible for Second Chance Youth Ranch, January 1st, 1988, I put on my day timer, on every page of my monthly day timer, no retreat, no remorse, no regrets. I don't believe in looking backwards. I only believe in looking up and looking forward. I'm Perry Black, pastor of Family Church, founder of Second Chance Youth Ranch.
I have a friend of mine from Sheridan, he's a surveyor, told me, Pastor Perry, I've got some land I want you to look at, or you might be interested in looking at. And I just told him, I just don't think the timing's right now. So we waited, several months. I don't know, might have even been a year. And just one morning, I just really felt prompted of the Lord that I needed to go look at land.
Well, when I was about 7 years old, my mom and dad were foster parents in northeast Arkansas in Jonesboro. Well, we kind of fielded our own baseball team. I think in this picture, I think there's 18 of us. It's my siblings, there were 5 of us, and I think a friend of my sister's who was living with us, and then the others would have been foster children. It was very common to have 2 or 3 infants, 2 or 3 toddlers. Well, my mom said that from the time she was a little girl, she wanted to be a foster parent. I don't really know what inspired her to do that, other than it was a childhood dream that she got to live out, and ended up becoming a house parent and a mom for over 110, 115 kids. Very influential woman, huge influence in my life of helping young people through the ministry of Second Chance Ranch. While I was in the Army, I declared I was an atheist, and got far from the roots of my mom's faith. And so as an atheist, I just began to do things that so many of my generation did. During the hippie generation, instead of getting engaged, we all dropped out, got involved in the drug culture. There I am, I'm sitting there, high as a kite, eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich, lost as a goose. I had served in the United States Army in Germany, and decided I'd go back to Germany and continue the life that I had been living in college and in the Army before I went to college, and I got arrested and was facing 6 to 10 years incarceration in Germany. And during that time, I knew that I needed help, and the Lord came into my life October 26, 1972, and at that time I recognized that it wasn't enough to make a social change. In order to change socially, we needed to have a heart change. And my heart had been changed, and I made a declaration to the Lord that if He would release me from this place, I'd spend the rest of my life telling people that He's alive. And but the dream of helping hurting kids never went away. And that's where the ranch comes from, is how can I help not just 1 or 2, but how can I help so many kids, especially right here in our own state, that need a second chance. We're approaching the bridge now. The bridge is always a fascinating thing, especially when we have construction trucks out, well drilling rigs or concrete trucks. All the drivers stop right here. Wow, I remember the first time we came out here and saw this bridge, and it was very rustic. Certainly Jesus is the bridge from lost humanity to heaven, and it's certainly a bridge for our young people where they're passing from their past into their future and into a relationship with us first, and as that relationship is built, always the young people build a bridge through the grace of Jesus Christ into a relationship spanning into their future. The vision in my heart for Second Chance Youth Ranch with the Old West is, in the Old West, the church was the center of the community. That's where it was, if you will, the community center. It was the schoolhouse. It was the place of worship. It was the center of the community. And my thoughts was kind of back to the future. Let's go back into the past. Let these young people have a new beginning by going back into the past where faith is the center of the whole community.
So you've had access to foster children
since I was a child.
Since you were a child, and so your mother had a tremendous heart for foster children, which must be kind of where you got your love for foster care children.
All of her friends were case workers for DCFS, and the joke, and it's jokes based in reality. We'd go to bed with 12 kids, and you'd always, before you got out of bed, you check the floor, make sure there weren't more children there. Go to bed with 12 and get up with 15, and that's serious. At one time we had 19 children at the house. My brothers and sisters, there were 5 of us, still are, and then the other foster children, anywhere from 12 to 14.
That's awesome. What is the program that you have for these kids at the ranch?
Well, let me kind of lay some groundwork. Number one, there's over 5,000 foster children in the state.
Right.
There is a terrible, terrible shortage of homes. And so what I have done, along with all my friends and partners around the United States and Arkansas, is we put together partners who support us. I've had a little lady in Heber Springs well, before she passed, she was in her 80s, who would send me $1 a month.
That's awesome.
And we ultimately ended up buying the acreage and building an Old West town.
Right.
And the video showed some of the town. And so we didn't build a facility or an organization. What we built was a town filled with foster homes with foster parents called Second Chance Youth Ranch. And
it's out in the middle of the woods.
It's in the middle of the woods. We take them from the hood, take them to the woods. That's what we do. And it's surrounded, our 300 acres is surrounded by 40,000 acres of forestry. I made a terrible mistake. I said, Lord, I need a place remote.
And so he surrounded you with trees. Huh?
I literally said I needed a place about 40 to 45 minutes from the church and or my home, so in case I needed to ever go there, in an emergency, I could get there in a reasonable period of time. And because our goal is to have not 35 students or 40, but I don't know, 100, 150, I felt like I would want it to be a little bit remote so that our neighbors would never be able to say, well, you know, that boy from that ranch or that girl from that ranch. And so when you pull off of Highway 298 between the little town of Perrin and Benton, you're still 5 miles down a gravel road to us, but you're about 12 to 15 minutes from us on that gravel road. And again, we have the 300 acres surrounded by forest. And we have about 200 acres of pine forest ourselves that we will begin. We've already done some thinning, but we'll probably harvest most of that in 2018 and 19.
Right.
And then we're going to put in pastures and animals.
Right. I think that's awesome.
People ask me, well, why don't you have animals now?
Horses. Horses especially, yeah.
I'm feeding kids. And horses need shoes every 8 weeks like a woman. And so, and they have to be fed every day, and of course they need to be groomed. And we don't want to cut down a forest for a horse, because the forest is going to bring revenue into the ranch, which will go into the ranch foundation to perpetuate the ranch for many years to come.
But you have a tremendous vision for the future, and we want to take another look at a video clip and see what that vision is.
Yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you up and show you the no. We call it the no, where God first spoke to me in my heart and told me this is where He wanted Second Chance Youth Ranch to be. It's been I don't know, probably 15 years since I've made my way up through here. Things have really grown up. Well, here we are. Wow, beautiful. When I stood here for the first time, as far as I could see, from here to here, nothing but forest. We bought the first parcel. It was a little over $165,000, and we didn't have $65 to buy it. And so this has been a venture of faith now since about 1999. People always want to know, how do we do this? We do it one day at a time. I don't really know how to explain it other than through the process of time. I believe who God calls, He equips. I don't think it's about my great faith. I think it's about my great God. Our property down here ends about 1,000 feet behind the church building, so the rest of our new city will be going out down the new roadway. And over the next several years, our plans, as always, are to build a new home every 18 to 24 months. Up the new roadway here, I would love to build a very large center for groups to come out and work, groups to come out and do Bible studies, retreats, and things like that, a retreat center. My goal when it comes to foster children is I want to work myself out of a job. I want to solve the problem for hurting children in the state of Arkansas. I don't know that that's truly a possible goal, but if you shoot for the moon, at least you might hit a star. So my goal is just to keep pressing on and keep expanding. I don't have a cap or a limit on what we're going to do here. I was asked early on by people at the state, how big is Second Chance Ranch going to be? My response is, how big is God and how big is the need? So my goal is to keep going forward and making room for more and more young people that I truly believe deserve a second chance in their life.
Well, God has given you a tremendous vision for the ranch, and you have many other hats that you wear. You must have a lot of energy to be able to get around to everything that you do, because you've added a school for these kids to attend, so they don't have to go to public schools.
That if they want to come, and everything in our relationship with our students, they become our family.
Right.
But they first have to want to come to the ranch. No one sent us there. We don't have any bars. We do have signs that say don't feed the bears. And we do have bears out there. But everything that our students do, they choose to be a part of our family.
Okay.
And it's a family of faith. Mm-hmm. And in that, they do come to our church. It is required, because just like you require that of your children.
Right.
Generally, within 1 or 2 visits, they give their life to the Lord. The transformation begins. Some of them, it takes a little longer. A lot of them are used to rejection, abuse, neglect, and so forth. But we worked really hard in making it possible for them to attend Arkansas Christian Academy there on our campus. We have a 25-acre campus. Any given day in Bryant, we'll have 390 to 400 students and probably 50 or 60 staff members in Bryant. And also in Bryant, that's where we have our independent homes and our transitional homes as these students get old enough to get a job.
To have the support in place that they're going to need when they graduate,
yeah,
so that they can transition into communities and be responsible citizens and be able to take care of themselves. I think it's awesome. Well, Pastor, we've got to take a break right now, but we'll be back in just a few minutes with Christina Hanna, who is a resident of the ranch.
When you give to This Is the Day TV, you're helping to broadcast how God is spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ and expanding His kingdom in Central Arkansas. There are many new ministries that God is using in uniquely creative ways to reach the churched and the unchurched. This Is the Day TV strives to professionally communicate what these ministries are doing to serve others. Won't you partner with us today by committing to a monthly pledge of any amount? Simply fill out a pledge card from our website, thisisthedaytv.com, or call 501-282-4131. Or you can mail in a donation to This Is the Day, P.O. Box 22553, Hot Springs, Arkansas 71903. Your donation is tax deductible. We are grateful for our partners. We call our partners angels, because in donating you are helping us to spread the good news of how God is advancing His kingdom in Central Arkansas.
Well, welcome back to the second half of This Is the Day. And we're back with a very special guest from the ranch. She's a resident at the ranch. We're going to be talking with her later in the show. Please welcome Christina Hanna. We're so glad that you're with us. Yeah. And she's going to tell us what it's like about being a resident at the ranch. But first, we want to get more information from Pastor Perry Black, who's with us and whose vision is large. So we want to know more, Pastor Perry, about the future of the ranch.
Our goal is real simple. 5,000 plus children in foster care need a second chance in life. We have 300 acres. We serve a big God. So our goal is to open up a new house for 7 more students, at least every 18 to 24 months. New home runs about $200,000 plus furnishing it.
Whoa.
So it's about a $250,000 project.
Yes.
Everything we do is debt free. So if anybody out there wants to help foster children, write me a check for $250,000 and I'll call that a house, whatever you want me to call that house.
They'll get to name it,
I will
won't they?
contract it and build it for free, and we'll have it open in 6 months from the time we receive the full donation. And our goal is to open the house every 18 to 24 months, as I said. And with 300 acres, I suspect I could build 10 more houses over the next 20 years. That'd make me 86 years old. And then I'd tag somebody and let them do it for a while.
Okay. Well, if we wanted to make a donation, where would we send that donation?
You can send that to Second Chance Youth Ranch, or you can go online, the number 2, cyr.org, give online. You can do that right now while I'm talking, or you can send it to Second Chance Youth Ranch, P.O. Box 150, Bryant, Arkansas 72089, and every gift makes a difference. I've had, as I've said, I've had little sweet folks send me $1 a month.
Right.
I've had people send me $10 a month. I've had partners around the United States send me $10 or $20 a month. I've had teenagers help. I've had children help. I had a postman in Benton, his daughters who are now grown and moms themselves, they used to save daddy's change, and every month they'd send me change. So send me change, and we'll make a change
Yes,
on
that's
behalf
right.
of young people
Send-
like Christina.
Send whatever you can.
Absolutely.
This is such an important ministry because our foster care children are in such need of Christian help. They need help of any kind, but Christian help helps change their hearts. And we want to hear from Christina about her experience at Second Chance Youth Ranch. So when did you get to Second Chance?
I got to Second Chance Youth Ranch September 19th in 2014.
And so you were in foster care at the time.
Yes, ma'am.
And you agreed to come because Pastor Perry said you have to agree, right, to come?
That's correct.
And so you wanted to come. And so tell us what your life has been like at Second Chance.
Well, my life at Second Chance Youth Ranch has been a lot better. I've grown more with God, and I've gotten more stronger. And if I didn't live there, it would be I would have gone on a different path.
You would have gone on a totally different path. So tell us about your experience with the Lord. Didn't you recently accept Him as your personal Savior?
I've been saved for about 3 to 2 years.
And that was a result of coming to the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she has a great pastor, that's why.
That's right, Pastor Perry. And you know what? He really cares about these kids. He calls them his family, and they feel like they are his family. And so it's a family atmosphere. It's not an institutional atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Where kids have to go and feel that, go places where they don't want to go to get help. And then it's a cold atmosphere once they get there. But this is a warm, loving home type of atmosphere. As you can see in the videos that we shared, it's an awesome old, Western town. And it has a church, even has a church at the end of the road, like they do in the Western movies. And it's just an awesome place. They put so much love and care and detail into it. And send your money.
I go to school at Arkansas Christian Academy.
Yeah.
Which is a part of the ministry program.
Yeah.
So they get Jesus 24 hours a day, and that's wonderful because it takes that, when you've come from a home of abuse or neglect or trauma, it takes children knowing that Jesus loves them, and that's what they get at the Second Chance Youth Ranch. But I know that pretty soon you're going to be graduating, right?
In 2 years.
In 2 years. So you must have some goals for the future. Do you have any goals for the future?
I want to become an architecture or a mechanic.
A mechanic? A girl mechanic? That's awesome. Did you know I grew up in a service station? My daddy ran the service station, and I was a little mechanic when I was a little girl. But I kind of grew out of it. But I always said I was going to be a mechanic, too, when I grew up. But that didn't happen. So, well, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience? What has been your experience at the ranch? What's it been like? What kind of transformation took place once you got there from being in foster care to being at the ranch?
Well, the difference was I had a place to call home. I've had multiple opportunities to be adopted, and I just said no. Because this is my place to call home.
That's where you want to be, because you feel loved and cared for there. Pastor Perry's about to cry. Oh, he is crying over here. Because, see, he cares. He cares. That touched his heart, and he cares. And so it's close to my heart because I've worked in the counseling field, and I have seen some of the circumstances our foster care kids come out of. And the Lord spoke to me years ago that what He needed for them was a place where they got love and they were taught about Him. And then they had a school that they could go to where they were loved and they were taught about Him, not a public school, but a Christian school. And what they needed was 24-hour love and knowing that Jesus loves them, that He created them for a special purpose and a reason, and it wasn't to be abused or neglected, but they have to have this coming out of that trauma and that neglect and that abuse. They have to have the love of Jesus Christ. That's why this home is so important to these kids, believe me. I just think it's wonderful, Pastor Perry, what you're doing. I just thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think more of us should be doing that. More of us should rise up to the occasion of these precious children that are in foster care that have too few places to go, and sometimes the places they go are even abusive. And so we need a place for our children, this generation that's coming up, we need a place for our children where we can place them and know that they're going to be safe and loved and want to stay there even. You know, that she loves it so much that she wants to stay there because she feels like she's had a family for the first time in her life. And so we just want to encourage you to go to the website and to make a donation and to continue to support what Pastor Perry Black is doing in Bryan, Arkansas. So, but you've got a lot more coming down the line because you just run like this all the time. You just run like this. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the goal obviously is I don't want any child. I do not want any child not to have a permanent family.
Right.
Our ultimate goal is always for family restoration. That's not always possible.
Right.
So when they come to us, I tell everybody, I just wish they'd all stay with us
forever.
Their family the moment they show up. As soon as they buy into who we are, and that sometimes takes a little while.
Right.
We want them to be a part of our family. We want to see them. We want to be a part of their weddings. We want to be a part of their baby dedications.
Right.
We want to be a part of their entire life journey. So this is not really a job, just a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work, I guarantee you. Well, Pastor Perry, you've come a long way from that storefront and those 85 or 86 or 7 people. And it's been an awesome journey, I know. But you've got plans for... I mean, we saw in the video that there's another road where you're going to put all your houses. Mm-hmm. And you said something in the video about a center.
A retreat center.
A retreat center.
Mm-hmm. Well, the purpose behind the retreat center, I'm still hosting teen camps every year. It's our 34th or 35th year to host teen camps since 1984. And we need a place that we can host our own camps. That generates revenue, mm-hmm. and all the revenue stays at the ranch. I don't get paid for doing this ministry. This is what I do. It's my life. And I would love to have a retreat center where I could have church groups in. I could have Bible study groups out. I have business groups out. Conferences. And that again would not only generate revenue, it would also meet a need of a lot of people who need a retreat center, and it puts them on our property to see Second Chance Ranch, meet our students, and if you ever come to the ranch, it will change your life. Absolutely change your life. Pictures and videos, as awesome as they are not enough.
So people are welcome to come and visit and take a first-hand look and see what the ranch is really like. And see what, I guess, goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Church groups can come out. Nail benders, painters, carpenters, weed eaters, mowers. Anything that you would do in 300 acres or around the house, we do it all the time.
Okay.
And church groups were out from a church in Little Rock just this weekend.
So you have volunteers that come and help weed eat and
all
mow, and so you don't have to just give money. You can give time, and you can give work and invest.
We have a doctor in Little Rock. He comes out and teaches our students fly fishing, and then takes them hiking and fishing. You have to be screened to do all those kind of things, one-on-one or one with a group.
Right.
But to come out and see us or to paint, we'll give you a paintbrush. The church that just came out this weekend, they bought their own supplies, sent it out there on Friday, showed up on Sunday, and used their own supplies. That's a God thing.
That's a God thing.
Yeah.
And God is so into this. He is so into this because of the money it takes. And you've been able to do it debt-free, all of it, every bit of it debt-free. God has just brought the money in supernaturally today.
Yeah, and every penny that comes in is to improve the services and life opportunities for our students. Mm-hmm. It's not so I can give everybody a raise, which we pray that we can always do that. But our fundraising is to improve what we do and to do more of what we do.
Right.
Our fundraiser, most recently, we have a fundraiser every October, and those monies are not for paying bills, they're to increase
what you already have
to more young people.
Okay, okay. We want you to, again, go to the website and give them the website one more time so that you can just...
Very easy. 2CYR, secondchanceyouthranch.org, or you can contact my office, 501-847-1559. And tell my assistants that you'd like to donate and ask for the bookkeeper. They'll do it. It'll be encrypted and it's secure. And if you can drop it in the mail, P.O. Box 150, Bryan, Arkansas 72089. And we'd love it. We don't care how small or how large. You want to sponsor the retreat center and give me $1 million, I'll start the retreat center next week. If you want to give $1, And if everybody in the state of Arkansas, little people, big people, old people, bald-headed people, give $1, there'd be over $3 million.
That's right.
And I wouldn't come back on television for at least a week and tell you I need more money.
He'll be back with us next week. Well, one other question, and I'll let you go. How many counties are represented at the Youth Ranch? Do you know right offhand?
I do have a map. I can give you a picture. You can put it into the video.
Well, we've got the picture. I just wondered if you knew offhand. But almost
from all over the state.
All over the state. It's amazing how many counties have children represented.
And the very first student that we received in 2005 came from Hot Springs, Garland County.
How about that? The very first student from right here in River City. Well, this has been an awesome show to find out about what Pastor Perry's doing in the Bryant, Arkansas area. I told you God was doing extraordinary things in Central Arkansas. He's raising up people for a kingdom that he's bringing forth even now as we speak. And Pastor Perry's doing his job with the Youth Ranch, or I should say Second Chance Youth Ranch. So thank you for coming and sharing with our audience. And we are so glad that you came and decided to come and be with us today. Hope you enjoyed it. And we will hope to see you back and more of your vision later on down the road. But that's it today for This Is the Day. We're glad you tuned in, and I know you're excited to find out about the Second Chance Youth Ranch. So be the first to know and get in the flow at This Is the Day TV.
Join the righteous revolution as we unite as the body of Christ and take back our land. Pastor Tracy Hewell, Evangelist Bill and Ida Ford, and Evangelist Boogie Bedgood will be leading the charge at the Righteous Revolution Conference on Friday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. and Saturday, November 4th at 10 a.m. Evangelist recording artist Faye Mosby, the Garrett Sisters, Ladidra Maris, Erica Cooper, Jan O'Keen, and Avis Wilson will all minister in song, dance, praise, and worship. There's no registration fee. Love offerings will be received each session. A $6 lunch will be offered. Come early because seating is limited. Be the first to know and get in the flow at This Is the Day TV Ministries Righteous Revolution Conference on November 3rd and 4th at 3564 Park Avenue, 4 miles north of the Arlington Hotel on 7 North. Jesus said, "Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord, but only what he sees the Father doing." If Jesus had to look to the Father for guidance, would it not be the same for each of us? This Is the Day is here to highlight where God is working, with the prayer that you will see God at work and that you will join him in his work. To do so is a tremendous blessing. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.